Hamilton near 105 FM.
And the Breakfast Club powered by Carlsbad Chevrolet. Online at carlsbadchevrolet.com. Text line at 877-396-W105. Brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Online at amigo-machinery.com. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer. And YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook video feed brought to you by Desert Sand Water Well.
Candy's here.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
There is still much to be done.
Don't forget Memorial Day, okay?
Memorial Day's this weekend.
It's Memorial Day weekend, which means summer is
just around the corner.
Take a long weekend.
A 3-day weekend.
Memorial Day is it.
3 days.
And good to you. It is finally a Friday. Thank God it is finally a TGIF Friday with the 3-day guys. We'll get the day off to celebrate with family and friends, if they have any friends. Just throw it out there. So, but family, we all have family, right?
A few.
And I mean, not all of us have sisters that will pay for our vacations, correct?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that's a little different. That is a little different. I'm still waiting on my sister to. I know they just came into some money. Because the brother-in-law's dad owned a bunch of oil rigs in, what's the name of the city? Oil City, Louisiana. Imagine that. I have no idea where they got the name from. But, yeah, dad owned them. He died. My brother-in-law, only kid. So my sister probably could afford it. But I'm not going to ask. And you know Tom said he probably boo-hooed and boo-hooed and boo-hooed. Today, Don't Fry Day, European Neighbor Day, National Blueberry Cheesecake Day, Deathbusters Day, National Heat Awareness Day, National Paper Awareness Day, Paper Airplane Day, National Road Trip Day, if somebody is going on a trip for the Memorial Day weekend, Title Track Day, National Wig Out Day, Sally Ride Day, and World Dracula Day. Also, Redhead Day, in memory of my mother. She is a redhead. So God bless Wanzi this morning. 6:08, it is another day in paradise. It is Open Light Friday. What do you want to talk about? I'll start off talking about, I was just watching Fox. And Lawrence Jones, who was quickly becoming one of my favorite people on Fox and Friends. He's not always on there, but that's the African-American guy. Geraldo was on there talking about the problem in New York. They've got 40,000 people in hotels. They're taking up all the hotels. And so people that want to go to New York, tourists, they ain't got no place to stay because the immigrants have the hotel rooms. And Geraldo said something that if I could have crawled through the TV, I think I'd have thrown a chair at him. Remember the whole when he was looking for Al Capone's tomb? Yeah, whatever. And when he had a chair thrown at him. But he said this. He said President Biden needs to expedite getting all these migrants work permits. If I could have actually gone through the TV, if I could have morphed through the TV, if I could have like quantum leaped through the TV, I think I'd have smacked Geraldo right upside his head. We need to give work permits that other people have worked for and paid big money for. But we're going to give it to people that have broke the law. Yes, Geraldo, that sounds like a great deal. You idiot. Thank God Lawrence Jones said no. Oh, hell no, I can't go for that. And he said just that. There are people that have done the right thing, and we're going to make these other people that have done the wrong thing, we're going to give them something that other people had to work for. This is the problem with America today. It really, really is. So I started off with that. Text line, you want to talk? You disagree with that? Yeah, you agree with Geraldo? 877-396-W105. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis entered the presidential race. President Biden isn't worried because he doesn't think that there's any way DeSantis could beat Bob Dole in the primary. That's what Biden said. So DeSantis has a lot of enemies. So he needs to be very, very careful. Yeah, very, very, very careful. I am seeing more hate for Ron DeSantis from PAC commercials on YouTube and social media. There is so much hate. Look, and I know the Make America Great, that's a PAC, that's a Donald Trump PAC, and they're throwing out there that DeSantis at one time was for a across the board, no deductions. And I'm down with that. I don't have the way the ad is making it sound like you would pay an additional 23%. No. Your regular income tax goes away and then you pay your 23%. I would be down with that. I would. High today, getting up to 80. We've got severe weather in the forecast all day today. Chance of rain throughout the day, about a 40% chance of the wet stuff throughout the day. And winds could be gusting up as high as 20, 25 miles an hour. Some of the showers this afternoon could be severe. And then tonight, severe weather, 50% chance of rain, winds over 25 miles an hour. Saturday, much of the same. Severe weather and a 50% chance of rain. Rain of the forecast Sunday into Sunday night. The only good day is actually Monday, Memorial Day. Sunny skies and high temperatures getting up to about 85. Check of the weather being brought to you by North Star Laundry. They can take care of all your laundry. They can start you up. They can do your dry cleaning. They can wash, dry, and fold your clothes. Now, if you want to take care of all of that yourself, that's not a problem. They have coin-operated machines for oil field-related clothes and regular clothes, and they're open 7 days a week. You can find them in Carlsbad, 609 West Lee, 604 West Church, both of those in Carlsbad, and North Star Laundry also in Loving at 406 West Cedar. Text line is open. Our number 877-396-W105.
Morning, guys. Kevin, what do you think about the video I sent yesterday? John from Lovington said. And Geraldo married a younger ultra-liberal. He's gone crazy.
Yeah, but he's always had a touch of that.
So I said, Kevin B. so butthurt over Tom being gone. Literally first thing he brings up every morning.
Well, he is part of the show. I'm just giving you an update.
And Mario B. from Lovington, you guys just hating on Tom.
I'm just giving you an update.
And I think Floridians are pissed because they want him as their governor and want Trump as president. And DeSantis is going to leave them high and dry and run for president.
Well, he's actually leading in polling numbers and beating Trump in the state of Florida. That's the only state where he's leading. But typical Republican, we beat the hell out of each other. And then when it comes time to beat up the Democrats, we run out of steam.
Germ says, I don't agree with giving them free work permits, but I do agree we need to make these people work. If we're not going to deport them, we can at least send them off to pick up trash in the highways, parks, lakes, and rivers, he said.
Well, we got a problem. I mean, we've made Americans so damn lazy. It's a problem the Democrats created on their own by giving, and not making people get off their ass and go to work. So these people come in and they want to work and they're going to work. What we need to do is put Americans back to work. And at some point, we need to start shipping people back home because we can't afford them. $32 trillion in debt. I mean, let's just break it down to households. Will, if you've got $100,000 in credit card debt, do you take on more responsibility?
No.
No. I mean, it's just common sense. We have lost all our common sense. Pretty sad, too. Some Budweiser products are being sold for free at certain stores, thanks to a brand new promotional rebate from Anheuser-Busch. Although the beer is, if you drink it, it might make you go change your clothes, maybe put on the wife's clothes. But Bud Light is free. It's actually pretty great, isn't it? I mean, that just shows that they have brought them to their knees. And by the way, I don't know if you saw this, Target's market value down $9 billion. $9 billion. And they are removing some of the product out of the stores. Especially
do you think these marketing directors, it's ever going to sink in the whole that we're saying go woke and go broke for a reason?
You would think somebody, the only company it hasn't affected is Nike. For whatever reason, Nike is like Teflon.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
No, I'll tell you why. It's because, so Target and Bud Light are basically dictated by adults. Nike is dictated by kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because kids love Nikes. They will buy Nikes. I have tried so many times to get my kids to not. I was like, okay, so those Nikes you pay a crazy amount of money for them. How long do they last? Oh, a month, 2 months, especially the way they wear them. I'm like, dude, it's the stupidest thing ever. Let's find some good quality shoes because these Nikes aren't worth a crap. They're made by slave labor, and they support every woke thing out there. So can we get something other than Nike? Oh, but those are the coolest. Those are the things that everybody has.
Well, there you go. Under Armour is the only American-owned shoe company, tennis shoe company that I know. I'm thinking Skechers is not American-owned anymore. I could be wrong, but I do know Under Armour is American-owned. California Senator Dianne Feinstein hangs in there. Actually, she's got shingles now. Wow, she's had a tough time.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, she's got shingles now, and she says she will show up to cast votes. And having shingles, that's painful. Wow.
She also said that she had never missed any votes.
Yeah, she said, I didn't miss. What are you talking about? Miss? I don't know what you're talking about. Miss. By the way, the new phrase for boycotting is Bud Lighting. That's what they say, Bud Lighting. If you want to say you're boycotting, you're Bud Lighting. And Miley Cyrus says she is no longer going on tour. I just want to sleep and not be on a moving bus. Miley, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you're that important or irrelevant nowadays, so don't worry about it. Oath Keeper, militia founder, Stuart Rose, sentenced to 18 years in federal prison yesterday following his conviction of conspiracy charges stemming from his role in January 6. Rhodes calls himself a political prisoner. So 18 years. And as I looked at this story, he had pulled his people back from the Capitol. I don't know what exactly he did. Russ, have you read up on this guy, the Oath Keeper, the founder of the Oath Keeper? I mean, did they kill somebody? Did they? I'm very, very confused how he can get 8 years. Did they plan a coup? No.
Were they the group that planned the kidnapping of?
No.
What?
January 6th. 18 years. All you have to do is say that he's a member of the militia. That's why the other day when I said that story about, the number of former military that are in militias is down, those dudes don't talk about such things. They don't want anybody to know that they're in a secret brotherhood. No, they don't want to say, why would they? You want to go to prison for 18 years for conspiracy? Conspiracy to do what?
Well, that's exactly it. It's like there's nothing there.
In the meantime, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden selling this country to the highest bidder. We've got bank accounts. We've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, we're going to talk about some brand new officers coming to New Mexico. We'll get to that. Tweet of the day being brought to you by Hobbs Airfield Speedway. They got big races going on tonight, and, of course, big races going on Saturday. TNT coming up tonight. Gates open at 6. Races start at 7 o'clock. And tomorrow, big races, bracket racing, box, no box, street and bikes and junior dragsters and more. If you need more information, Jamal was the guy. Give him a call, 575-631-5099, or visit them on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. All the info is up on there. And I think John said the soundbite that he sent me earlier today, I think this is the soundbite about what party is a racist party. And I couldn't play all of it because it was extremely long. But when it comes to their history, would the Democratic Party be the racist party? Or would it be the Republican Party? I'm going with the Democrats. Let's see what they say.
When you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party comes to mind? The Republicans or the Democrats? Most people would probably say the Democrats, but this answer is incorrect. Since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 1960s. In contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission was to stop the spread of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely.
That needs to be played every day just to educate people. But because if you bring up any of those talking points, liberals go crazy.
Oh, they lose their mind.
Call you a liar.
Well, because they believe the mainstream media and the lies they've been fed.
You're a liar. You are a liar.
I don't support the party of slavery.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you support the party of slavery. Yep, you do. 623 being the Breakfast Club this morning, being brought to you by United Pump and Supply. 60 years of experience, holding up to the pressure. They are your number one supplier, and if you need a company that can hold up to that pressure, United Pump and Supply. They are the experts when it comes to chemical, inline pumps, also valves, chokes, and gauges. Big name brands like Mercer, Superior Products, Chicago Valve, and others, they are your distributor. Find out more information at up-s.com. You can apply. They're looking for relief valve technicians right now. Apply at up-s.com. They're equal opportunity employer, drug-free employer, and United Pump and Supply now open in Carlsbad. 53 new officers going to be on the streets. 53 officers completed 17 weeks of training at the academy. So congratulations going out to them. They're coming to departments across the state, many of them coming to Southeast New Mexico. We talked about Target losing $9 billion in market value. I think they believe that it's still a good idea. That's what the that's what the CEO said. And a federal grand jury has indicted Rodney Wakawawa, 51 years old, member of the Zuni tribe, and he has been charged with multiple counts of aggravated sexual assault, accused of engaging in sexual act with 2 children under the age of 12 years of age. He faces up to 30 years in prison and will remain in custody in time until they actually his sentencing time. Chuck Schumer ripping the Supreme Court's 9-0 ruling over the EPA water rules. This is a win for farmers and ranchers. This is a win for the oil field. This is a win for everybody that the EPA can't come out with these decisions that hurt people without any prior discussion. Chuck Schumer saying it's a MAGA Supreme Court. let me get this right. How many liberals on the Supreme Court?
Four.
5?
Four.
I think it's 5, isn't it? Counting the one Joe Biden got in there?
I was maybe 4.
4?
We
So how could it be a MAGA Supreme Court?
Trump
I mean,
only got confirmed one justice, didn't he, or two?
No, 2.
Two.
Kavanaugh and Barrett.
So 2 out of 9, and Biden's already put in 1. So as you're saying, how's this a mega?
Roberts, who is wishy-washy, and I mean everything is MAGA. I mean, just keep watching. Everything is MAGA. The point is, it is not a MAGA Supreme Court. Sotomayor is nowhere even close to being part of America Great.
Well, when did the term MAGA? I'm trying to figure this out. Make America Great Again. When has this become a curse word?
Yeah, well, they don't like it. They don't like it at all. Texas House Committee recommends impeachment for Attorney General Ken Paxton. So Texas representatives investigating by committee recommended impeachment for the embattled state Attorney General Ken Paxton. Texas House Investigating Committee voted 5-0 to adopt the articles of impeachment against Ken Paxton. And in Texas, impeachment from the House would require Paxton leave office immediately, pending a trial in the Senate. Committee comes as Paxton fell under investigation for corruption, being led by FBI over accusations that the Attorney General used his office to assist a donor. He was also indicted in 2015 for security fraud charges. So it looks like he could be impeached. And Texas might be looking for another Attorney General. Not good for the state of Texas. Really not good for Ken Paxton, though. And Kermit police investigating a shooting that involved a puppy. What the hell's the matter with you people? Kermit police currently investigating that shooting of a puppy. However, it wasn't a person. It was a puppy, 4-month-old puppy, and they're trying to figure this out today. What the hell? Why is somebody shooting a puppy? It's like these yahoos that go and shoot cows and horses just to shoot them. I mean, you're going to stay there and watch it bleed out? That's somebody's livelihood when you drive by and shoot a big old cow. People are sick. They're a perfect gift for a graduation, perfect gift for anniversaries, perfect gift for Mother's Day. I can go on. It's just a perfect gift. And ladies, if you've been wanting one and haven't got one, we're encouraging you to just go out there and get it for yourself. Go to the website. You can order right off the website, atlasmakeupmirror.com, or you can call and talk to Rebecca Long, 575-631-3189, and she needs your help. So, Will, is it just on Facebook that they're trying to get?
Anywhere that you can leave a review.
So, if you've already bought the mirror, please give a review. It is super, super important to Rebecca that she continues to grow her business. Now, this is a local inventor that came up with the idea of the Atlas Makeup Mirror. And if you don't know, it weighs less than 4 pounds. Traveling case, travels easy. That's why she designed it. So if you have already bought it, go to her Facebook page. Just start there and give a review about the Atlas Makeup Mirror. 575-631-3189 on Facebook, on Instagram, and at atlasmakeupmirror.com. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. And do people believe this whole Russia collusion was a hit job? I'll answer that coming up next. We are BM, the Breakfast Club. Also, Representative Melanie Stansbury talking about health care in New Mexico. Oh, we'll get to that. I can't believe she's representing us all the way in Washington, D.C. Can't believe it. But She is. Text line 877-396-W105.
Several people, including Papa Top, reminded us that Trump had 3. I forgot about Neil Gorsuch. That was his first one.
You're right.
he had 3 Supreme Court justices. And someone else said, I'd say 4.5 because John Roberts can swing either way.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, all of them. I mean, look,
Yeah.
when we needed some of the other ones, they swung the other way.
Agreed. Well, I mean, if they're truthfully going by the rule of law, I can respect it. But by the same standpoint, it sure seems like some of that has some politics involved.
The only one that has been true to conservative values, they're trying to get rid of, Clarence Thomas. Coincidence or not?
Nope.
Bunch of racist.
So Mario B from Lovington, dude, that's fighting words. He says it's not that the Nikes aren't worth the crap, Will. It's that your kids don't have discipline. I bet they drag their feet when they walk. Well, look, you know, I said very clearly they're hard on their shoes, and they have less reason. Look, I had Nikes when I was a kid too, and I was hard on them. They didn't last very long, but I'm a Gen Xer. We were outside all the time. My kids play Xbox more than they are outside.
Yeah, let me give you the comparison. My kids play football, basketball, and track. Nike was their brand. They didn't want to wear anything else. Football cleats, Nike football cleats for my son lasted 2 games, and then they ripped at the sole. They didn't even use those shoes for practice. They actually came apart. And I said, dude, we're moving on. You're going to get some Adidas. Well, those look like soccer cleats. I ain't wearing that. Well, you better get some tape and tape them cleats up. And so we ended up getting Under Armour, and they actually lasted throughout the season. Basketball shoes, crap. Nike does not build their shoes like shoes used to be made. They are crap.
No. And David and Artesia backed that up. He says, Will, those 3-year-old Chinese kids making those Nikes just aren't as good as they used to be.
And I'm just going to say, my shoe of choice, I'm showing it on the camera. I actually polished these up this morning so I could go to a big deal this afternoon. These are my shoes of choice. Comfy, nice, soft.
Are they the Kanye Adidas?
No.
I'm just messing with you.
I can't afford that. Are you kidding me? No way.
For those who aren't looking at the video, he showed up his Adidas flip-flops.
Things is that your feet are comfortable. Just saying. All right, thought for the day this morning being brought to you by Wakefield Oil. 35 years serving Southeast New Mexico. Quality products, excellent service, dependable. Boom or bust, they deliver in the patch. Need gas, need diesel, need interstate batteries, they've got them. On-road, off-road, it doesn't matter. WakefieldOil.com. Thought for the day in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield, who brought the family to New Mexico 35-plus years ago. Thought for the day is, just because I know I could get more done if I got up earlier doesn't mean I have any intention of getting up earlier. Thought for the day. Text line is open, 877-396-W105. Russ, we'll get to the price of oil coming up in a sec.
Okay.
So, John, thank you, buddy. He says, Dunn made a couple of comments for the Atlas Makeup Mirror. Someone else asked about the link. I just texted him the link to the Facebook page. And someone says sketches all the way. And
but those aren't cool. I mean, I love Skechers. I really do. I love Skechers. They're comfortable. They've got the memory foam, but even them, over the last 2-3 years, their product is going down a little bit.
So Todd in Carlsbad says New Balance is made here in America too.
Yeah.
And,
that's the other one.
So one of the texters asked, under the Trading with the Enemy Act, your assets are seized. Why hasn't Biden's assets been seized?
Because they're not going to do anything to him. I mean, as much as that is disheartening, nothing's going to happen. I'm not even expecting something to happen because it's not. The FBI is rigged. The Justice Department is rigged. It's not going to happen. Now, if his name was Trump, it will already happen. Yep.
So one of the things is my daughter got a pair of them Nike 270s, and they didn't even last a month. And the glue separated, and the air got out of them. POS, they said.
Amen.
And Dustin at Caverns Armory said, Nike has been trashed for years. Buy something that supports your way of life unless you're one of the liberals who is afraid to use your name, then Nike doesn't support you.
My favorite tennis shoes is, what the hell's the name of it? Is it QO? I can't think of them. I can't. I own a pair. My kids buy them. All the doctors wear them. My kids pay like $200 a pair. I will not pay I found them online for like $89. I'll spend $89, but I ain't spending, but I think it's QO.
So my kids were funny. They wanted some Hey Dudes, and they asked. They were like, "Well, Kevin wears Hey Dudes," and so I was like, "Oh yeah." So anyway, they wanted Hey Dudes, and then another. My shoes are all diabetic shoes though, so every shoe I've got is a special shoe for diabetics. So it's not like I can just go down and buy new ones at any store.
I'm at my age. I just don't use tennis shoes for anything. But my favorite brand of tennis shoes are whatever's like $10 at the dollar store. I think the ones I have now are called Mikey's. Something like that.
Yeah,
On Cloud is the name, but it has a QC. So all the doctors wear them, and they're very, very comfortable. But I don't think they're American made. If that matters to you, I think it should matter to all of us.
I'm like Russ. I mean, well, back in the day, I used to wear boots all the time, but unfortunately, since I can't feel my feet hardly at all, I can't do the boots very much anymore.
Yeah, me either. My boots, my one foot is bigger than the other because I've had 3 surgeries on the foot, so boots are hard on me. All right, looks like 2/3 of voters believe that former President Donald Trump was a target of a political hit job over allegations that his campaign colluded with the Russians, and so the majority of Americans believe it was a hit job. How can anybody on the Democratic Party be elected? Rasmussen poll says 63% of voters believe that the Russian collusion was a hit job from the Democrats. And Arkansas removes their quarterback, Cade Renfro, from the roster. Sexual assault allegations. Now, the problem I have with this, if he is guilty, please throw him in prison. But we're basing these allegations on an anonymous Instagram account that accused him of raping a woman. Anonymous Instagram account. Arkansas Razorback football team says they're less one player as their quarterback, redshirt junior transfer Cade Renfro, removed from the bench of the allegations. They immediately removed him from the team. And like I said, allegation stemming from an anonymous Instagram account. Has he been charged criminally? No. But, there is a Instagram account, anonymous Instagram account that is accusing this. So what this means, anybody can put up a fake Instagram account and accuse somebody, and they'll cancel you out quicker than quick. Now, if this guy is guilty of raping a woman, like the Instagram account says, shouldn't there be a police report? I'm just asking. You canceled him out without any proof at all. No proof. No police. No nothing. And you canceled him out. Is that the world we live in today? Like I said, I will never take up for somebody that's a rapist. But these are only accusations with zero proof coming from a anonymous Instagram account. Am I wrong about this?
No, I mean, as far as what you're saying, and whether he did it or not, that's another story. But you're right. I mean, based solely on an anonymous Instagram account? Oh, hell no.
What about the kid? I can't remember where he played ball, but they accused him of rape. And this kid was going to be drafted, I think, by the Raiders when this story broke, and the Raiders decided that they weren't going to sign him.
Yep, decided to pass.
And guess what? 2 years later, it came out the whole damn thing was fake. It ruined his life. In the meantime, he sued the Raiders for not, I mean, you don't even investigate. That means you're guilty without going to court. It means you're guilty without the police investigating. Just because somebody says it, you are guilty. That goes completely against our justice system. Guilty to proven, oh, whatever. All right, price of oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker. Oilfield Cementers currently hiring. They have training programs, and they are currently looking for folks that can become cementing supervisors. They've got a program called the SSIT program. So if you've ever supervised a frac crew, this is the job for you. And if you've ever run a blender in the past, Spinnaker needs you to come run one of their big cementing trucks and become a cementing equipment operator. Must have a Class A CDL and willing to work a lot of hours. You're going to receive text oilfield to 63566 or go to greatoilfieldjobs.com.
West Texas crude up slightly, less than a point, 72.45. Brent crude 76.78, and natural gas is actually way down, almost 2 full points at 2.258. There you go.
All right, 643. We'll take a break in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Iron River Inspection. Online at ironriverinspection.com. Mike and Matt, second-generation pipeliners, and they know what they're talking about when it comes to pipelines, when it comes to safety training, when it comes to consulting. And they're not doing it all on their own. They have put together a team that has 300 years of combined experience. Find them online at ironriverinspection.com. Representative Melody Stansbury talks about healthcare. Healthcare is so important to New Mexicans. She's up in Washington, D.C., fighting for our state. Here's what she had to say.
I personally believe that healthcare is a human right, a fundamental right. The ability to access healthcare obviously is not just about the dignity and well-being of our communities, but about the survival of our family members. Yet millions of Americans and thousands of New Mexicans struggle to access even the most basic care. In New Mexico, in my home state, over 6.
One breath, you're saying that they don't have insurance or the ability to receive insurance. And the other breath, you're saying 61% of New Mexicans are on Medicaid or Medicare. By the way, the best insurance in the world, which one would you think it was, Will? I'm thinking Medicaid. No deductible and no copay. Wow, what a bargain, huh?
Well, yeah. And Medicare is based even for me, because I do have Medicare because of my kidney failure. They immediately put you on it. But even me, because of how much money I make, my dues are crazy high.
Yeah. So, yeah, but 61% of New Mexicans. I can't remember how many. What's the percentage of New Mexicans on welfare? It's over 60%. It is over 60%. Kind of crazy. First time ever, I agree with Whoopi Goldberg. I'm going to be honest. First time ever. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, who's supposedly going to be running for president, he's a Republican, on The View discussing gun rights. And Whoopi, I'm going to agree with Whoopi on this. First time ever. Mark it down on the calendar. Today is May 26th.
The automatic rifle. They killed a bunch of children who were just going to school. That gun.
If you say, well, we're just going to ban, if it was that easy, the Democrats would have done it. They didn't do it because they know it's not.
That's not the Democrats right now. What are you going to do?
No, I'm not banning any guns. I'm going to provide access to mental health. We're going to get at the core of the issue, which is what spurs a lot of the violence.
Very good. All over the world.
Stop.
No booing. No Republican will ever come back here if you're going to
we need to talk to people to find out what they're thinking and are they thinking in the right way. He's not going to be perfect. None of them are.
So I agree 100% with that. You cannot boo people because nobody will want to go on the show, right? I can't ask the tough questions because if I do, nobody will want to go on the show. Yeah, I think I got that right. Chip Roy, representative, I think he's from Texas, talks about EVs. Do you know the subsidies on electric vehicles? Pretty damn high. I had no idea it was this high. Listen to Chip Roy talk about EV subsidies.
It's the worst form of corporate cronyism I've ever seen on the floor of this body. How about the 80% of the electric vehicle subsidies that go to people who make $100,000 or $300,000 as a couple? Yeah. So the poor guy out there is a plumber trying to drive his pickup around is going to be told, you got to go subsidize a little suburbanite family running around in their EV feeling good about themselves, patting themselves on the back while they go plug their EV in to charge it using as much power as you use for your air conditioning unit, which has to come from somewhere. And that somewhere ain't nuclear, ain't gas, and ain't coal anymore because they're destroying our ability to produce the reliable power that we need for the very EVs they want to subsidize.
Amen, 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 amen. This next story, I'm at a point where I don't know exactly which way I would go with this. Indiana doctor reprimanded after performing an abortion on a 10-year-old. And the first question you probably ask, what is a 10-year-old doing pregnant? Well, she was raped. So the doctor performed the abortion. Of course, there's an anti-abortion law, and she could lose her license in Indiana. What do we do with somebody like this little 10-year-old? We 10-year-old. I don't.
It's a 10-year-old, and they were raped. I think that this is one of the few exceptions I would make for abortion. Now, granted, I mean, because I'm not going to force a 10-year-old to carry a baby to term.
Yeah.
If you're a grown woman, and even still, if you're raped, I'm going to be less likely to force you to carry one to term. But by the same standpoint, if you were so inclined, I would have nothing but respect for you. And the women who have gone ahead, who have been raped, who have had the baby and put it up for adoption, kudos to you. Because there's nothing more honorable to me than doing something like that. But that being said, I'm not going to make a 10-year-old carry a baby to term from their rapist. This is the exception. Now, granted, if they were, for something that was forced upon this 10-year-old, I can't. But are we talking about doing it early, or are we talking about waiting until the baby is fully developed and viable?
Yeah, story did not say at how many weeks. That I would love to find out. Yeah.
Even with abortion bans, supposedly, they still aren't truly bans. They're just not. They don't allow them after so many weeks.
Right, exactly. Roswell man convicted of carrying out a drive-by shooting on a family outside of an apartment complex last year that left one man injured. It's received 9 years in prison yesterday. Per the press release from the Office of the District Attorney of New Mexico, 5th Judicial District, Anthony Fuentes, 21 years old, will be given 14-year sentence, 9 of which will be served in prison, and the remaining 5 on suspended probation. He'll receive 349 days for credit for time served for performing this drive-by shooting of a family in which one man died. Looks like population in New Mexico is actually growing for folks 65 plus. That means our population is getting older, What's happening to the younger population? Are they moving out of New Mexico? Most recent reports show that population in the state grew 3% from 2010 to through 2020. Report shows that people 65 years of age, it has grown more than 43%. So total population grew 10%. Population of those 65 plus grew 43%. 4 New Mexico counties saw a jump in their 0 to 17 population. 4 counties saw population growth among children. Those counties, Eddy, Lee, Harding, and Los Alamos. Lee and Eddy, you making babies. That's all I got to say. And a Midland man sentenced 65 years after sexually assaulting a 16-year-old. According to the Midland County District Attorney, Armando Martinez, 39 years old, sentenced to sexual assault of a child and indecency with a child, and child indecency with a child by contact. 2-day case. This guy is punished 65 years in jail. 65 years in prison. Do you see the difference between New Mexico's statutes and Texas's statutes? A guy murders somebody in Roswell and gets 18 years. This guy, sexual contact and sexual assault of a child, 65 years. And Michelle Lujan Gresham is creating a new office of special education. She is rolling out all these new offices. I wonder if they're going to get paid. I bet they are. Yeah, rolling out this new office. And by the way, if it helps, God bless. We just had a legislative session. I'm not a big fan of this type of executive orders to, we're going to add this office and this committee and that committee. Just not a fan. All right, 654. Text line is open. Taking out trash coming up next. We're going to get to national anthem, the pledge, things that happen on this date in history, boob of the day, and more coming up in just a second. 6 minutes away from 7 o'clock.
Someone said those census numbers are from 2020, though. And when another texter says, Will, murder is murder. Look, I have a problem making, and there again, this all depends on how viable the fetus is. If we're talking about way soon, but that's why I think if you're raped, the morning after pill should be part of the rape kit. That's my opinion.
But the problem with that is, does a 10-year-old go to her parents and say that she was raped?
No, especially if it's a family member or something like that. No, I see this happening. Yeah. But if the baby is viable, yeah, then I have a lot harder time.
I'm very conflicted. I'll be the
same.
I'm very conflicted with this.
Someone said, sad thing is, I thought those parents decided they didn't even want the 10-year-old. Sad thing, I wouldn't be surprised. It's a tough thing, no kidding. So several more people talking about shoes. 915 Liberal says, just because you can't afford them, William, you need to wear them. Don't hate Nike. And
Will, you can't afford them. That's what that's what it's all about. You can't afford them.
I've been buying, size 13s for both boys, but I can't afford them.
Look, you need to be like the elitist, okay? You need to be like the elitist, the liberal, and support China, all right?
Yeah. And slave labor, too, because, they're big into that. Someone says, I wear Magnum boots. So this is John from Lovington with the side zipper, comfortable and supportive. And that's right, Russ. My mom used to buy my shoes at the grocery store school. They were called Mikey's. Ha, ha, ha. And someone else said, Ariat, Danner, Keene, and Lucchese. And they were stood for years until the dog got a hold of them. One of them said.
Do you remember what we used to call 3-stripe tennis shoes? Those little canvas black tennis shoes had 3 little white stripes. And they sold them in a bin. And my mom used to get them for me at Bob's Thriftway. In the summertime, they'd have them out there in a big bin tied together, and you just went through until you found your size. And
I remember when they first rolled out Adidas. I wanted a pair of those Adidas, and my old man said, and they were like $50. That was a lot of money back in the day. And my old man said, I'm not paying $50. I'll pay 25. So you save 25, I'll put up 25. You can get your shoes. Man, I can't forget. I'll remember that day that I walked into that store and bought that pair of Adidas and walked out. I was a happy young man. Showed up at school with the Adidas on, and every damn kid at school on the first day of school had the same damn shoes. Son of a gun.
Here's one of the Under Armour texts. I knew I saw a couple of them. I own 3 pairs of Under Armour shoes, one for working out, one for leisure, and one for the hell of it. Those shoes are freaking awesome, and they last.
Yeah.
They need for at least. Oh, I don't know if your texter was a little
good.
weird.
They're good.
Yeah. So, and someone said nothing will ever outlast a pair of custom whites. And so we talked about these earlier because the boys decided they wanted some. Y'all should try, and they did it because Kevin has some.
But nothing beats the Adidas Soft. Just saying. Every old white guy ought to have a pair.
So that's why us Asian kids don't like Christmas, because we make the toys.
Yeah, no doubt. What's funny? Flip-flops. Have you ever seen somebody on a construction site wearing a pair of flip-flops? I'm serious.
I have not, no.
If you come to the Philippines, you will see it. Construction site. I'm talking about up 50 stories with a pair of flip-flops on.
Oh, hell no.
No. Oh, craziness. Road construction, flip-flops. I'm surprised somebody hadn't lost a toe yet. But Joe Biden was much like Tom in the neighborhood. Here's what he had to say.
Calvert, Representative Calhoun. Calhoun's not here, McCollum. And I want to thank you all.
I'll keep mentioning names until I get one of them.
I'm just going to keep on saying them, yeah.
And Joe Biden talks about killing the hate, but I still don't understand what the hell he's talking about.
Building cross-community solidarity and collective action to fight hate. This strategy includes over 100 bold and unprecedented actions that government agencies are going to take to counter anti-Semitism.
What?
And that includes calls for action for Congress, state and local governments, companies, technology platforms, civil society, and faith leaders, all of them to act. Silence is complicity. All of us must stand united to affirm that an attack on any one group of us is an attack on all of us.
And this coming from the guy that attacks MAGA every single day. They are a group.
Well, of course, that's different though.
Oh, I guess it is.
We can attack people based on their beliefs if it's against what we believe as liberals. But here's the thing, it just kills me. I'm sorry. Have we seen a lot of anti-Semitism out there?
Flags a whole bunch as of late.
Yeah,
they're trying, and I have never seen Carrie Jean-Pierre so butthurt as she was yesterday. Supreme Court ruling on, of course, the EPA water, Biden administration.
The way that we see it, the court's decision today aims to take our country backwards. It will jeopardize the sources of clean drinking water for farmers, businesses, and millions of Americans. Look, the Clean Water Act is the reason why America's lakes today are swimmable, why we can't fish in our streams and rivers, and why...
It hasn't been in effect that long, so how all of a sudden it cleaned up overnight? And by the way, who's fighting this? Farmers and ranchers. That's who's fighting it. But you know better than them, and you've probably never been on a ranch in your life.
Well, and that's what kills me about these Washington bureaucrats. There's not a single one of them that actually knows what the hell they're pushing or talking about, and yet they're making policy that all of us that actually live the life have to abide by.
Right. The whole thing is nuts. All right, we got to take a break, but I got to get to taking out trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters, 575-390-4549, trash-eaters.com. They do residential pickup, reminding you to give to the Lovington Animal Shelter. They're seeking volunteers. If you want to go and volunteer to clean kennels, walk the animals, do repairs and that type of stuff, they would appreciate it. And they also need donations so they can spay and neuter the animals and ship them off to a no-kill facility. Call the animal shelter directly, 575-552-3669. I'm taking out the trash today. I'm taking out President Lopez Obrador of Mexico. I'm putting him right in the big old dumpster because his head looks pretty big. I think we need to put him in the... Yeah, this guy is trying to wade into politics in America. Yesterday, urging all Hispanics not to vote for any Republican candidate, especially Ron DeSantis. Yeah, this is the latest example of the Mexican president meddling in U.S. politics. Lopez Obrador spoke at a press conference the day after DeSantis declared as president of his run for president on the Republican side. His butt hurt as if he ate a whole liter of chili. Very hot chili, by the way. Lopez Obrador is accusing DeSantis of pushing anti-immigrant policies. Get it right, knucklehead. Pushing anti-illegal immigration policies and urging all Hispanics to vote for the Democrats. By the way, thank God you don't speak for all Hispanics. Thank God that you don't speak for all folks that came from Mexico and now are are American citizens. Maybe you ought to worry about the drugs that are flowing across your border into our country as your cartel and your government is working with the Chinese to flood the drugs into our country. Worry about your country. Don't worry about Republican, Democrat. Worry about your country. Clean up your backyard, and then you can worry about our elections. I think that would be called meddling in our elections. I think maybe we can say that Biden is colluding with Mexico. Yeah, maybe. KWMW, Malmore, 105.1 FM. Chance of rain throughout the day, 40% chance of rain. Some of that could be severe. And winds will get up to about 20 miles an hour, 25-mile-an-hour winds, and a chance of rain tonight, 50% and severe. Rain coming up Saturday and Sunday, and Monday looks pretty good for Memorial Day. Check of the weather being brought to you by Randall Pettigrew, reminding you that he's the guy that goes to Santa Fe and fights for your rights and your way of living in Southeast New Mexico. Republicans are undermanned, very undermanned. That's why we need good Republicans fighting for us against all these Second Amendment, more laws that they can't enforce, fighting for the unborn, fighting for our way of life in New Mexico, all in gas. Randy Pettigrew, find out more information, randallpettigrew.com. Wrap up the text. We're going to take our break.
Sorry, I was already tabbed out. Sounds to me that the Mexican president is scared of Governor DeSantis. And someone says, I guess y'all don't remember when Tom was weighing in and had an excuse that each shoe weighed 5 pounds.
Yeah. There must be steel-toe tennies.
Yeah. I know a roofer who wears Mexican sandals with very good tread on it. It says it's the most comfortable ride his feet have ever been on.
Wow.
And hate is a personal choice that is taught and learned. And someone says, I think the liberals should try to wear a pair of work boots. Someone else says, I have Air Jordan golf shoes. And whatever happened to Reebok?
They're still around. I'm sure Brooks is my wife's shoe closet, and I'm sure she's got Reeboks.
I'm sure. Someone says Brooks is one of the only that comes in different widths and good shoes, they say.
They are good shoes.
Coming up, I want to talk about the entertainment at the Lee County Fair and Rodeo. They announced that just recently.
So they ought to make it W105 Lee County Fair.
It is. If you're a fan of the music on W105, you're going to love the lineup this year. So I'll tell you what that's going to be coming up.
All right, some of the stories we're going to talk about. A ESPN announcer, oh my God, another slip up. Last week, a guy dropped the N-word on ESPN by mistake. He meant to say Negro and instead said another word. In this case, this guy hasn't been fired yet, but we'll wait and see. CNN hits Biden with terrible, horrible news about his new polling numbers. We'll tell you about that. And a jury found an Albuquerque man guilty of bringing a gun into a high school. I'll talk about that. North Hollywood parents boycotting the school district's plan for a pride assembly. And when they complained about it, they said, you can do what? I'll get to that. And a woman receives a suspended sentence for arson, damaging several homes. Oh, suspended. That will teach her lesson. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Main Trailer Sales. You can find them in Roswell online at maintrailersalesinc.com, 575-622-1751. Don't go camping without Main Trailer Sales. National Anthem and the Pledge on the way. 7:08, we're being the Breakfast Club. Taking a break. Let's qualify for folks for cash that we're giving away later today. We'll get you updated with news up next. Be in the Breakfast Club on W105.
Vinegar Cementing Solution in Hahn presents the W105 Cash Blowout.
Call now.
Call 877-396-W105 now. Be one of the first 5 people to call in for your chance to win $105. The W105 Cash Blowout.
I want my money. And I want it.
Call in now to win. MTD Radio News. I'm Jim Miller. At their May regular meeting, the Lee County Board of County Commissioners approved long-anticipated entertainment lineup for the 2023 Lee County Fair and Rodeo and Hispanic Heritage Celebration. Chris Allen, chair of the Lee County Fair and Rodeo Board, presented the proposed entertainment roster to commissioners for their approval, which the commission approved unanimously. Lee County Fair's got a long history of bringing a wide variety of quality entertainment. Taxpayers in New Mexico lost about $8 billion in the last decade as the oil and gas industry operated on public land under outdated royalty rates companies pay to the federal government as they extract fossil fuels. The Interior Department updated the royalty rate from 12.5%, which stood for decades, to 16.67% under the Inflation Reduction Act passed last year. Taxpayers for Common Sense published their report Wednesday, in which it argues that for the past 10 years, New Mexicans did not get a fair return for operations on public land under the old fee structure. Roswell Planning and Zoning Commission approving a zone change in preliminary plat, as well as a recommendation of the final plat to the City Council for new residential construction of the south side of the 800 to 1100 blocks of East Country Club Road. Commissioners voted on the request Tuesday night after a public hearing about the 3.5-acre site composed of 2 lots, both of which are being proposed for building 18 townhouses near Goddard High School. The high school uses property on both sides of the East Country Club. On the south side of the street are 7 GHS ball fields. That's what's happening. I'm Jim Miller, MTD Radio News.
You know what makes me sick? You know what makes me so mad? I want to drop my pants to my ankles and squat on a porcupine. You know, with all this crazy garbage going on in the world, don't you feel like we've been on the edge for a long time now? I mean, you got these knuckle-dragging misfits in Washington. You got terrorists all over the place. People can't find a job. Upside down in your house. I'll tell you what. I wake up some mornings and it feels like 2 squirrels are kicking in my gut. And then I noticed Dub Maker, my buddy Dub, he don't seem to be affected by nothing. Nothing. I think the only thing Dub is worried about every day is if he remembered to pull up his zipper when he come out of the john. Then I come to this fact. It would be wonderful to go through life stupid. I don't mean certified IQ morons or simple-minded. I mean just stupid. You know the people I'm talking about, the scatterbrained broad that parks her grocery cart in the middle of the aisle and starts talking on her cell phone, totally unaware somebody might be shopping. Or, you know, that idiot in the left turn lane is afraid to commit. I'm thinking, keeping my job plant and all them rumors going around. I'm thinking about how to get my truck to last another 3 years. I'm thinking about this pain I got in my shoulder now for 2 weeks. I'm thinking about roof repairs and how the hell am I going to get a home equity loan when I owe 2 times as much as I got into my place? And Dub Meeker, he's thinking if he drives a long way to work, he'll pay jobs, a federal deficit, and my family's future, and Dub Meeker's worried about not having enough candy. Who's enjoying life more here, actually? I'm Earl Pizza Pizza.
Hey, this is Big Ben, and it's time for the Memorial Day Slasher Sales Event at Permian Chevy Buick GMC Nissan. Check your mailbox for an invitation to our event, where you could score up to $25,000 in cash, plus other great prizes. 5 big days to save. You know what? They don't call us the Permian Truck Guys for nothing. Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Everything's gotta go. Everybody wins when we go low. That's right. Shop local and save big. With over 500 vehicles available. Do you have a car, truck, van, or SUV that you'd not be driving? Did you know that due to current market conditions, your used car has never been worth more? Sell us your car direct and score big. Now's the time to take advantage. The Memorial Day Slasher Sales Event is back. Are you ready to get a newer, nicer car for less? Come see us today through Holiday Monday, May 29th at Permian Chevy Buick GMC on 701 West Navajo Drive in Hobbs.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and make all sorts of unforgettable memories. Summer, like cruising in a Camry to enjoy some ice cream by the beach. Before getting attacked by a flock of seagulls.
Toyota, let's go places. Event ends May 31st. Participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer Berry.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota, let's go places.
Working Guys is for anyone that works. In the medical event, Working Guys carries Carhartt and Wing scrubs. Comes our huge selection, including Wing Drive scrubs with the dry water repellent technology. Just in time for hot weather. Get 20% off Cordova coolers and Brewmate cookware and caps from Ditch, Ariat, Troll. 15% off. Gear up. Working Guys. Open 7 days at 109 East Broadway.
And the Breakfast Club in the morning, W105.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Carlsbad Chevrolet, and broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. Text line at 877-396-W105.
Get up! Get your fat ass up! Now get up!
Like a beast. Responsible in how he has conducted himself.
Yeah, he's talking about Republicans saying that they've waited to the last minute. Well, because they have. By the way, 96 days have gone by. How many meetings did they have with Kevin McCarthy? That would be 0. On the Senate side, those clowns weren't even at work this week. Where was Joe Biden? Oh, he was in Japan. So, doesn't seem like there's a big rush. In the meantime, it's style. Really. Let me remind you, the Democrats have Feinstein and Joe Biden and what's the big guy? Somebody help me there. You know who I'm talking about. I'm pulling one right now. The guy from Pennsylvania.
Fetterman?
Yeah, Fetterman. AOC, by the way, talking about, have you ever met somebody that said that America, that we're not spending enough on them? Me. I want America to spend less. So AOC, mark me down.
But they are accusing Democrats of saying they spend too much. For anyone that wants to entertain that thought, I ask you to think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them.
Well, in New Mexico, it's the state, not the federal government. Yeah,
exactly. And pretty much every state, the federal government doesn't decide how much teachers are paid. It's the state. So AOC.
Directly from the White House. I know you're on today. We appreciate it. Why aren't we hearing every day from the president at length talking to
outworks is dead.
You know, some of these things that they say, they put like words together and a sentence together, but it means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And at the end of the day, she gets nothing done. Calling names. I mean, Biden just this thing about, we can't, that's ungodly. It's definitely the Republicans, right?
Nope.
New study suggests that even weak traffic noises in the background are enough to worsen your performance at work. Now, Will, this is the problem in that building. Getting anything done. And researchers at the University of Warsaw suggest that Earths tend to be more religious and work harder. That's pretty cool. Mark Hamill will turn as Luke in the new upcoming.
Better than I had just because of who's making it, but we'll see.
Avatar